right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
From the Metro East to the major leagues, the woman breaking barriers as a scout.
Stevie start to the work week. We're tracking more storm chances over the next couple of days.
10 shootings in a matter of days.
I've never been around nothing like that before, so that was a crazy experience.
With crime concerns on the rise, what police say they're doing to keep the streets safe.
Another violent weekend across the city. A shooting outside a North St. Louis bar, just one of 10 shootings in St. Louis since Friday. Police say 3 people died, more than a dozen others injured. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. During one of those crimes, 6 people were shot outside Playground Bar and Grill last night. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend is looking into it.
Kelly and Mike, thankfully nobody was killed during all that gunfire. Now it happened outside the bar and grill and near Fairground Park, where police tell us they have been called many times before.
704, we're getting a report of multiple victims for the shooting at 3735 Kossuth.
The emergency call went out just after 10 Sunday night. 6 people, 4 men and 2 women, shot outside Playground Bar and Grill on Kossuth Avenue near North Grand.
It was multiple shots ongoing back to back for 10 minutes.
Police say they found more than 100 shell casings at the scene. This woman was sitting on her porch with her child when the gunshots popped off.
It was shots going off, and so once I heard the shots, I ran in the house.
The startled mom asked us to not show her face.
It's hard to believe. It's crazy.
Police found 3 victims shot in the street, 2 inside the bar. Another victim was taken to a hospital before officers arrived.
Of the 6 victims shot, 2 were convicted felons and 2 are documented gang members. Knowing people with the highest propensity for violence, carrying guns, known to each other, is sometimes a recipe for disaster.
So far this year, police have been called to the business 19 times.
St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department is working with problem properties and other stakeholders to address issues at this establishment.
Chief Tracy says crime is down along with the number of officers currently patrolling the streets.
I fairly distribute police officers throughout the city because I can't just put them in one place.
We're constantly having to figure out how do we combat gun violence in our community.
Police said the 6 shooting victims were still in the hospital as of this morning. All of them are expected to recover. So far, no arrests. If you have any information, call St. Louis Police.
School is out and summer is in full swing, which often means more gun violence. It also means more teens are involved. There are curfew laws in St. Louis, but there are plenty of loopholes. Our Laura Barczewski is live downtown to explain. Laura.
Mike, there are already a couple of curfews on the books, but are they working? Are they being enforced? How do we stop gun violence? All these questions come up over and over again, and unfortunately, the experts say there really aren't any straightforward answers. In the city of St. Louis, there are 2 main curfews. One is for city parks. No one is allowed to be in the park between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And there's another curfew for kids and teens. On Friday and Saturday, they can't be out on the streets unsupervised between midnight and 5 a.m. For the rest of the week, teens can't be out between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Sharon Williams with St. Louis Moms Demand Action says people can always find a way around curfews.
I think because we have so many teens who are unsupervised during the evening time that I don't think a curfew would make much difference.
In the current law, there are some exceptions. Teens or kids can be out past curfew if they're with a parent, guardian, or someone over the age of 21. Williams says it's difficult to know what's going on because teens plan things through social media.
A lot of times the parents or those who are their guardians don't have any idea of what's being planned.
The biggest question is, do curfews work? SLU Criminology Assistant Professor Kenya Brumfield Young says it's hard to know exactly how it's enforced and the data tracking it is scarce.
But from what is available, it doesn't. For several reasons. One of them is often behavior displacement. So they may go somewhere where the curfews look different or where there's not curfews. And also, these activities don't have boundaries.
Brumfield Young says every year crime goes up in the summer for several reasons. One being young people don't always have a safe, stable home. The shortage of officers doesn't help either. On Monday, the city released the latest information on youth summer programs, job opportunities, and even put more funding into the rec centers to keep them open late on weekends.
But if we don't have any effective measures in place for them to to do things at the recreation site, then it's just an open building.
To make these alternatives to crime work, the conversation can't just be between the adults. Brumfield Young says teens need a seat at the table.
Ask them a bit more of what they want and how they can see wanting to spend time with their friends and things like that, because that's really what a lot of it comes down to.
The city posted today all of the information on these summer programs and job opportunities, and we've gathered all of that for you on KSDK.com. Reporting downtown, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
We got a taste of it all today. Heat, humidity, and scattered showers.
And some of us had wind. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has been tracking it all in the Weather First Weather Center.
You know, those showers and thunderstorms developed this afternoon down to our south, and then the wind blew in with that gust front out ahead of the storms. Then we had a brief downpour, and then it moved on. And that's pretty much what happened around most of the metro area this afternoon. It was pretty quick hitting, and then after that, things have settled down tonight. There's not much happening locally at this point. We have a little disturbance back here into Oklahoma and Kansas, but even our cloud cover has thinned out a bit around St. Louis, and there's nothing showing up on the radar right now. It is still muggy in St. Louis, and with another disturbance to our west, perhaps as we head towards daybreak, we could see a few spot showers and thunderstorms try to develop again. Depending on what happens through the overnight and early morning hours tomorrow, that will then set the stage for what happens later tomorrow afternoon. So we still continue with that chance of some scattered thunderstorms for Tuesday. And a few of them could have downpours, just like we saw today. But Lambert only picked up 0.15 of an inch. Most of us didn't get a lot. It was just that quick hitting downpour. And there's a limited wind and hail threat tomorrow, too. It looks like it's especially higher as you go into northwest Missouri. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll talk about big changes for later in the week that you'll like.
Funeral services were held today for the 9-year-old girl killed in Jefferson County. Her mother confessed to killing Scarlett Parmalee and her 2-year-old brother Isaac last week. Tomorrow, Isaac will be laid to rest in a private funeral service. Ashley Parmalee is now charged with their murders.
People continue to protest the potential closure of several library branches in St. Charles County. Today, people gathered outside the newly renovated library at the Spencer Road branch in St. Peters, as the future of the Deer Run, Kisker, and McClay branches remain uncertain, which means 64 positions could be cut. Library officials are citing revenue concerns, but community members feel like they're getting mixed messages.
I think that's part of the irony, I guess, is we're expanding and rebuilding and remodeling libraries and spending millions of dollars on that, yet we're also talking about laying off employees and refusing to give them raises.
The board has tabled any decision for closures until June 18th.
The lawsuit challenging President Biden's second attempt at a student loan forgiveness plan was in a federal court today here in St. Louis. Former Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt's office sued over President Biden's first attempt, arguing the Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority would lose hundreds of millions of dollars in fees and interest from student loan borrowers. The Supreme Court agreed. This morning, Missouri government lawyers argued against President Biden's Plan B, which calls for expanding benefits to people in the private sector. Missouri's lawyers claim it would neutralize or negate a similar tuition benefit for workers who chose a career in public service. The debt forgiveness relief plan is scheduled to begin July 1st. Attorney General Bailey released a statement regarding his lawsuit challenging the president's plan. It reads in part, quote, "Today we faced off against President Biden in court as he ignores the Supreme Court's ruling that the president cannot unilaterally cancel student loan debt without congressional authority."
Well, the Cardinals took on the Astros tonight in Houston in the first game of their series.
And an Edwardsville native is helping the Redbirds' latest opponents with their scouting. Andy Kroll spoke to the young woman who is breaking barriers.
Mike and Kelly, naturally being from Edwardsville, Lauren Taplin grew up a Cardinals fan. Now she's the player personnel coordinator, hitting it out of the park with the Houston Astros.
It's kind of crazy to think of myself as something like that, but I'd love to be.
A young Cardinals fan meeting superstars like Albert Pujols with her twin and older brother. Lauren Taplin played softball at Edwardsville High School, plus basketball under beloved retired varsity coach Lori Blade.
So intelligent and understands both games, basketball, softball, really well. Just a love for athletics and spunky, just a very good kid that is an awesome person.
The 2018 Edwardsville graduate hit the gas like any of her favorite pitching prospects, studying sports administration at Ole Miss. Then worked at the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mets, and now on the Astros player personnel team.
After being in baseball for a while, there's so many little different things. Like within player development, it gets really minuscule, and I really like the data aspect, and there's all different ways to try to get competitive advantages over teams.
Taplin isn't the only woman changing the face of front offices and baseball dugouts. 15 female coaches are with MLB organizations right now. Taplin cites her coach, Blade, with helping to build her confidence in such a league of her own.
When you get told no, just get right back up and get after it, because they shouldn't be able to tell you no. You know, if you find something you love and that you really have a passion for and want to do it.
They want to create successful teams, but they also want to create successful women, and women that will go and compete and take chances and go into the workforce and ready to compete in anything in life, whether it was basketball, softball, or real life things.
In the ultimate Edwardsville trivia fun fact for your Monday night, Lauren Taplin is friends with Kate Martin, the WNBA Las Vegas Aces rookie. Before Martin played at Iowa with Caitlin Clark, she was shooting hoops with Lauren Taplin.
Annie, thanks. Well, June is Pride Month, and celebrations are kicking off in both St. Louis City and County. Mayor Tashara Jones and other city leaders raised a flag outside of City Hall. And in Clayton, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page was joined by county employees to install flags in Memorial Park. You can join us this Thursday for the Gateway to Pride preview at the Missouri History Museum, celebrating the history of St. Louis's gay culture. Our own Jim Castillo and Travis Cummings will co-host. Happy Hour starts at 5. The program is at 6:30.
Cashing in on all those credit card perks.
The money is being spent on travel, so I might as well take advantage of the rewards.
Consumer Reports helps you find the credit card with the right fit to get you the best bang for your buck. All eyes are on a new plant at the Botanical Garden, and it is raising a bit of a stink when the corpse flower is expected to bloom.
Thunderstorms blossom for some of us Monday afternoon, and there are a few more chances to see rain before this muggy weather is pushed out when refreshing air returns to the bi-state area.